based where all the political parties will come and watch how the elections go, whether it go in their favor or not. So this really is the heart of the elections for 2014. We're seeing a lot of the political leaders already going out and voting. Our deputy president has gone out. He's in the Pretoria area to cast his vote. But we've also got some other prominent individuals and party leaders we know where they're voting.
As we're seeing that our research department putting this up for us, Vusi Matlasela, a musician, will vote at Maratele Lower Primary School. That's in Mamelodi. And I know he'll probably be happy because Mamelodi Sundowns won the league.
So very happy man.
And
our ACDP leader. Yeah, he's going to be voting in Parkdean Primary School out in Boksburg. So that's for your ACDP fans out there. That's where your leader will be voting. And Danny Jordan, someone you're interested in.
President of SAFA, he's voting at the Hyde Park Primary School in Johannesburg. So these are all voting stations that we'll be keeping an eye on. And hopefully, you know, if you are there, do take your selfie outside the booth, not inside, yeah?
No,
take your selfie
inside.
outside of the booth. Tweet it to us, hashtag SABC News Elections. In fact, hashtag SABC Elections. We will try and use it as far as the day is
All right,
concerned.
some other political party leaders. Peter Mulder of the Freedom Front Plus, he's going to be voting in Potchefstroom this morning. Bantu Holomisa of the UDM will be at Arcadia Primary School. And the APC leader, Themba Godi, will be at Dwarsloop Civic Centre.
Check this further. We're now joined by more analysts as we've been doing the whole morning, keeping abreast of matches as far as that's concerned. It's Michael, yes? That's Michael, welcome to the show. Speak to us. It seems that everything's running smoothly so far, and there was a bit of, thought might be unrest. Bakersdale seems to be sorted out, as we see our journalists reporting. The tents are up and running again. From here on in, we should expect South Africans to have a fun day.
Well, I hope the defining feature of the voting process this time is really going to be how normal it is, how mundane it is. People have done this several times, and there should be no hiccups, no protests, no violence associated with it. But behind the scenes, people have already made their decisions, and the main decision people have made is whether or not they're going to vote. They may be a bit conflicted about who they're going to vote for when they get there.
I think that's what we've picked up most of the time. With a lot of people saying they're not sure who they're going to vote for, but they're definitely going to vote.
And when they're going to be confronted with two ballot papers, they're going to have to make a choice. And one of the choices is whether or not they're going to split their ballot. Are they going to vote for one party on provincial level and perhaps another party at national level? And I think for probably the first time, we have this high level of indecision at the last second.
I don't know, the question would be then, would you see a lot of that in terms of splitting your vote? Is it something common, or?
Normally, it's actually very difficult to tell from the election results, because A may split their party between, say, the ACDP and Akhang, and another person can do precisely the opposite.
Yeah.
And we will not know from the results to what extent people have split their votes. But from surveys, it indicates that probably only around about 2% of voters really split their ballots. There's a very small discrepancy between the level of support of a political party at provincial level and the level of support at a national level.
All right, just on your screen right now, if we may just speak over these visuals. This is coming live from Uppington in the Northern Cape. You heard that a lot of these voters had been queuing since 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, the polling station has officially opened and the voters are going in. Looks like about 10 at a time that they're allowing to go into the voting station, so that the queue does run smoothly throughout the day. Michael, in terms of the split vote, in previous elections, did this happen, A, and B, why the split vote? Why are you dividing your vote, say, between the national and provincial? If you have an affiliation for one party, surely that's where your vote stays, and it isn't a split one where you're undecided.
And I think the understanding of voting that you share with us is normal understanding. We're really voting. Your choice of political party is really an act of faith. You're going to decide, I have faith in these leaders, therefore I'm going to vote for them, come what may. But the interesting part about this election, for the first time, there seems to be quite a bit of indecision on the part of voters. And with indecision, really becomes choice. Now, the first choice that people are confronted with is, am I going to vote or not?
Yeah.
If you look at what the rhetoric of protesters are, they're going to say, we object to what's happened. so therefore we are not going to vote.
I think that would have been my question. You look at, for example, in Gauteng, where there's been a lot of these so-called protests, would one say, look, we do not want to have a provincial government under this particular party. I instead am going to vote for that party because they come here, they sing the right sort of tones and music to my ear.
Yes, and they're saying that, but just to reiterate, the first thing that people tend to do is simply say, I'm not going to bother to vote at all.
Yeah.
So the most important thing for me on this election is really, what is the turnout rate? Are these people that have been affected by protests or are disillusioned with a particular party leader or are worried about corruption, are they simply going to abstain?
Yeah.
Or as Rodney Casserols has really advocated, go ahead there, spoil your vote.
And spoil that vote of yours. Quite interesting, we've got some statistics for the voter turnout in previous elections. In 1994 it was 84%, 99 it was 87%, in 2004 it was 76%, and in 2009 77%. So there's been a significant drop. I mean, it's a 10% drop from what we saw in 1999 to the last general election. It'll be very upsetting to see that figure drop again.
Well, unfortunately, those figures actually conceal another trend. The figures that you're sharing with us are the percentage of registered voters that are
Absolutely,
voting.
yeah.
Now, the really interesting is what percentage of eligible voters, what percentage of adult citizens cast a vote. In the last election, the 2011 municipal elections, less than 50% of adults voted. Now, that is still perhaps a few were voting because it was a local government election rather than a national one. But the trend is generally downwards.
Yeah. All right, let's keep you updated as to what's happening around South Africa and with the voting. This is quite a lovely one. The first person to vote in Alexandra Township in Johannesburg, he was standing in a queue from 5:30 in the morning. He's 71-year-old Musa Pakati. He cast his vote. He's so excited. He says that he could not sleep. He left his home at 4:30 in the morning and walked slowly to his voting station, and he's finally done it. So he is a very excited man that he's been able to do that. We've also got our deputy president, who should be voting very, very shortly. He is at Colburn polling station here in the Pretoria area, and also the Tshwane mayor Josienso Ramagopa is also going to be voting there. IEC deputy chairperson is meeting them there, Terry Talani, and they'll be able to cast their votes as well.
Are you voting today?
Of course I'm voting.
Where are you voting?
I am going home to vote. I'm voting in my home district.
A little birdie tells me, for all those people, but we actually shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to say it.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to vote just down the road.
Oh, are you?
I've actually registered in Johannesburg, but because I'm here, they said I can vote just down the road.
Oh, you see the privileges that you do have, those privileges. All right, one more vote that we can update you on before we go to Elfin Limpopo is that the DA leader, Helen Ziller, is apparently going to be casting her vote at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's in just under an hour from now at St. Paul's Church over there in Rondebosch. So that's what's going to be happening around the country. We'll keep you updated. So we've also got Julius Malema, who's voting in Limpopo at 10 o'clock. So that'll be happening, as well as the president voting at 10 o'clock in Nkandla. All right, let's now go